And I would like to introduce Jeff and Cindy Ullman, co-founders of GOODFOR. That's GOODFOR, trademarked, one word. Their topic, how death almost killed one of us, yet we created a health, wealth, and entrepreneurs love story that's good for anybody in pain from anything. And I'm actually taking a very different approach here. I find that Jeff and Cindy to be very interesting and rather unique with skills and talents, which is just frankly not easily captured by their extremely impressive resumes. I mean, there's no question, for example, that they're both marketing whizzes, and I learn every time when I have a chat with Jeff. So I'm going to summarize by saying they really are out of the box thinkers. So instead of reading off their biographies, I will ask them to lead off by explaining why they are here and what do they offer. And I will yield the floor to Jeff or Cindy Ullman, but I understand that Cindy Ullman will be going first. So Cindy Ullman, please take it away.
Thank you. I'm so thankful for John's support and for all of you who are interested in what's good for you. And we truly have a love story because as long as I've known Jeff, we've worked together as a team, which is unusual for a husband and wife, I believe, to actually stay married, happily married and successful.
It's been almost 3 decades. We hope that doubles. So this is an unusual type of presentation because we're revealing both the outward side of our life through business and marketing, and some of the thinking, the internal non-shared with the public thinking and strategy and tactics, as well as our personal and highly emotional lives. But we're from California, and it's not so much the show business, but it's the business of show, you know, eye candy, where you live, how many nannies you have, how many cars, etc. But we both grew up in Los Angeles, and in my case, I led a very Forrest Gump type of life with celebrities and politicians and major events. Not that I caused any of that, but it was around it. I am a successful 4-time entrepreneur, but I'm also, and I put the word successful in quotes, 2-time entrepreneur, making a shitty mess of some things despite my best efforts. It's about timing in the world. But all successes and failures in breakthrough services, such as what Cindy and I have done together, including now, have always been directed towards helping people, in fact, enhancing millions of lives around the world, first starting in the United States, of course. Now, I've had a number of failures in a way, or at least admitting it, which is not very LA friendly or PC. But I've learned from my failures, and I know what I need help from, particularly from product entrepreneurs and operators, because I come from the service industry. Now, it was Cindy's imminent prognosis of what I call her death due date that really birthed GOODFOR, because in March 2016, she was diagnosed with metastatic stage 4 breast cancer. 5 tumors had formed in her liver. 2 of them were about 75% of the length or width, if you will, of her liver. And she was given about 6 months to live between Halloween and Thanksgiving of 2016. So it was scary either way. And it was ironically not thankful for Thanksgiving. And so I asked Cindy, well, what do you want me to do? I asked her in front of the oncologist.
So let me interrupt.
Oh, please.
Jeffrey loves to help people. He loves to matchmake people. As you know, he was matchmaker and a couples keeper, meaning we help more couples stay together than anyone else. And he really loves to match people together and help people. And what greater gift to me as his most beloved person is to put me in touch with what would be good for me and make me live a better life under the circumstances of a death toll. Like, come on.
Yes. Well, I said, Cindy, what do you want to do in front of the 2 oncologists? And she said, fuck cancer. And I said, yes, ma'am. Now, what we created in 6 days, and no, we didn't rest on the 7th, was a genetically personalized, what's called pharmacogenetic formula of cannabis. Now, that's not what we're ever selling because the FDA would close us down. So people can contact us and we'll send them information, but we sell nothing. There's not a dime that goes between us. But she was taking also her chemo drug. And we all know that chemotherapeutic drugs kill. They kill bad cells, they kill good cells. And part of the power of chemotherapy, as well as many, many, many pharmaceutical drugs of all kinds, have side effects, adverse effects. And hers was neuropathy, extensive, massive, immediate neuropathy.
And hair loss.
Yeah, well, she's got quite a head of lioness of hair. So we created, my son Elijah and I created a topical, because we'd been home growing legally for many years, not commercially. So we created, but it was a high THC salve. It worked great. Friends knew about it. We gave it away, but then so many friends and family wanted it, we charged them. And I hated that.
And it really snowballed. It was a grassroots effect. I mean, call it guerrilla marketing, but we weren't trying to market it. It was truly grassroots with so many survivor, like thriver stories, people who thrive. And we were thinking to ourselves, wow, we did a YPO seminar on thrivers not that long ago.
Young Presidents Organization.
Yes. And so we thought, well, I want to be a thriver too. And we got to figure out this and help more people thrive.
That's right. So it was in 2018, I decided we just can't keep growing for all the other people. I mean, we're charitable and all. So let's create a company. So I had a few, as a serial entrepreneur, if you will, not quite so serial, as I knew that my focus had to be ensured by creating a brand name that was scalable across the globe, and also to create a product formulation strategy that could not be equaled easily. And so I chose the name GOODFOR, but I also want to say that when business people vet their vendors, like in attorneys, like I did and like I'm going to tell you, how do you choose the right person? So I said to 3 different intellectual property firms, all at different times, all on the phone, could I get the name GOODFOR? They said, no, you can't, because good and for are too common in the English language. So I said, okay, I'm going to spell 3 words for you, and I want you to pronounce them. So here we go, and think of it yourself. MACDONALD. MACDONALD. McDonald. How about this? MCHENRY. Again, MCHENRY. McHenry. And the third one is MACHINE. What is it? If you said McKine, no, it's machine. So I want to know how vendors can keep me away, can give us quality, not just attorneys, but think outside of parallelograms, outside of globes, think differently, because that's the only way one can innovate and succeed in our international flat world. And we had to deliberately distinguish GOODFOR from our competitive clutter. And we're succeeding in meeting our mission goals. And what fails or what plagues most startup, I'll share with you in a little bit. So GOODFOR has been proving most enduring, and it's probably the most enduring and lucrative health and wealth enterprise, because we prove 3 things. Pain is evergreen, everywhere, and ever eluded by everyone, and nothing really works, whether it's a CBD topical really, or a non-CBD, nothing works. That's why CBD pain topicals have such a bad rap. When you just have any kind of CBD and as the primary ingredient, not the active ingredient, it just doesn't work, and it turns off people.
And as I got more involved with meeting more people who are suffering from pain due to their cancer-related treatments, we realized that's when we actually realized that we didn't have enough supply home growing it, that we needed to go into production.
We believe very essentially that for a company to succeed in today's highly competitive, cluttered world, one must distinguish oneself with a name that's came out of our own fight, a scare of Cindy's impending and painful death, that we had to be memorable. And good for is part of everyday language, and it's expandable. The three least important words or letters for us are CBD. The reason being is we want to go to CPG, global, consumer products of all kinds, and you can put good for in front of just about anything, and it makes sense. We also have to respect our team members and give them, because they're the heroes in so many ways. I mean, everything doesn't come from us. What is it that I'm not aware of? And that's helped us in so many ways. We've also want to make a situation so that we can really exit from this business with no worries, that there's no skeletons in the closet. Legally, as Cindy said before, everything is done the right way, which is unfortunate because it's very expensive to do things the right way.
And it's doing good for the world. We really believe in helping others, considering how much it's helped everyone that we've come across that like what's good for them.
That's right. So I want to talk about some notable moments. The first notable moment that I remember is our stuff works. It really, really, really works. I think it was Sally Fields who said something like that, getting an Oscar.
Really, really love you.
And then the other thing is it's fun to create, but it's hard to evaluate. And it's required to celebrate successes and even little ones and demonstrate that metrics matter. Another notable moment was our first sale. Another one was when my brother complimented me.
I really wanted to hear the story, and I know that Brad is very good about these things, and we'll get another opportunity, I'm sure, in the near future. It's really a good story to hear. It's very touching. So anyways, all right, everyone, that wraps up our speaker portion of the show today. I hope you enjoyed all these incredible speakers as much as I did.